Sandland, the land of sand. Here's a story about a little guy that lives in the blue world. I'm blue, da-dum-dee, ba-dum-die, da-dum-dee, da-dum-die, da-dum-dee, ba-dum-die. Oh yeah, so blue. Hello and welcome, it's Chris back with yet another fragrance review. Drinking my blues away with a blue liquid from a blue cup. Chin chin. Oh, and it's all blue today. It's all about blue because of this fragrance. Trussardi Riflesso Blue Vibe Limited Edition. There you go. And now, is it really blue? First of all, Trussardi. Trussardi I'm a great fan of. Since the early 90s when I first started to wear their fragrance. I smoked their cigarette and I wore their jeans and wore their shirts and all that. So, and there were several great fragrances that Trussardi had throughout the years, and somehow since 2005, since Inside, I was not that great of a fan anymore. But I got this bottle from a great friend of mine, Joel, thank you, as a gift. And I, of course, followed what Trussardi has done with Riflesso a few years ago, then Riflesso Blue Vibe, and now Riflesso Blue Vibe Limited Edition. Now, what's the vibe here? What's the story here? First of all, the bottle. Very nice. It has this little tag that tells you all about the ingredients and what you can expect from this from the fragrance. And I like this this rugged, heavy quality bottle. The only thing I don't like is that it's missing the greyhound. The famous Trussardi greyhound is gone. Sadly, it's nowhere there. The greyhound that was very much the emblematic logo of Trussardi, invented by Nicola Trussardi in 1973. It's not here anymore. I sadly miss it because I really liked the Trussardi greyhound. Now, the execution is of great quality, a great sprayer, and so what do we get? Is it really blue? I'm blue, damn. Who I hate. By the way, I hated that song. Okay, that was this Italian crowd, this band doing this song in the end of the 90s, somewhere in '99, I think. I hated this song. So annoying, but so blue. Is this fragrance blue? Well, yes and no. It's different blue, and it has the original flanker called Riflesso Blue Vibe without limited edition, and I was reading about that. I saw stuff like rum and yuzu and all that. I never tried that one because, again, I'm not that interested in Trussardi anymore, but this one seems to be different than that, or different to that, especially if you read actually the notes here in the back. I'm not going to bore you to death here with this, but it talks about an icy explosion, a warm appeal, and an unexpected vibe. And do we get that? Well, the icy explosion is definitely there. It's a fresh, sparkling start with lime and pink pepper, and some orangey mandarin kind of stuff. Bourbon geranium we have in here, bigaran, and then a little bit of the modern ambroxan type of smell and scenario comes in there, which I'm not a great fan of. It gives it this 21st century smell with this kind of weird sweetness that's present, a sweetness that is not vanilla or not, cinnamon. It's just, something's not necessarily my cup of tea. But good news, because the great backbone of driftwood is coming in fairly early and kind of, pushes the ambroxan and several other notes in the background as the fragrance develops. And a great driftwood is actually present in this fragrance, and that's the note that I enjoy the most, apart from the limey, peppery start, because it's a much better note, much better woody note than sandalwood or cedarwood, in my opinion, especially in this composition here. A cedarwood or a sandalwood would make the dry down very boring with this fragrance. The driftwood does not make it boring, but it makes it more interesting and special. And it gives you even the blue vibe, the Riflesso blue vibe here, but in a different way. It's not aquatic, it's rather a holiday type of vibe that you get here. That's the blue vibe, okay, in this case. Somewhere walking along, not being in the water or close at the shore, but walking maybe at the Promenade des Anglais in Nizza, I think that is, or Nice, or just Ocean Drive in Miami, or you could name a few places like this, where you have this scenario of the seaside or beachside cafes, the sand, the trees, the vegetation, and the beach, okay? And these are sort of creating a warm, almost delicious, welcoming, friendly, casual, elegant atmosphere. That's how it smells, okay? That's how it smells like taking a walk on the Promenade des Anglais or Ocean Drive or wherever you are, you know. Nice beachside, nice beachside with some cafes and all that, newspapers and visited people and maybe some drinks there and, you know, some food and all that. That's how it smells. It smells holiday to me a lot. It's very, but not a flip-flop necessarily holiday, but a sort of casual, elegant holiday. Something that is, you know, that is not, there's not mass tourism here. It has this type of style, and it's you could say it's an Italian style. It's a Trussardi style, because the original Riflesso that I smelled has that also going, those vibes, okay, you know, which is so elegant, but an effortless elegance, a casual, nice elegance, and this is what this fragrance has, but with a holiday twist, which they call probably blue vibe, okay, and the limited edition, obviously being a different fragrance to the regular blue vibe, brings it to this level of holiday, you know, beachside sophistication. Okay, so am I in love with it? Not necessarily, because it's, especially if you have, it's an interesting one. You could try it at home if you have this fragrance. If you spray this on one hand and you spray something else, something more classy, probably a Guerlain Homme or an Aramis or a Lagerfeld Classic or something, a Fougère Bengale or whatever you want, you know, or Tuscany Poromo by Aramis, or something really classy. If you spray that on the other hand, and then you start to compare them, then you actually realize that this is a very much modern release, which can be still good, but it's not necessarily my taste, my cup of tea. Okay, it's still good, but it's a fragrance that I probably will not fall entirely in love with, because I'm coming from a generation which appreciates a more probably classy structure to a fragrance, or more traditional structure. Yet I still can appreciate the easygoing and delicious. It's a delicious, very appealing vibe as well. So I could definitely see this getting compliments if you want. You know, it's really, and the other good thing is that it sets itself apart from many of the wannabe blue fragrances of today. Okay, there's tons out there, you know, that you know, where the marketing chooses blue to be the main driver, the main hook to get people to buy the fragrance, and it calls it blue ocean or blue this and blue that and blue or the other thing. This is blue vibe, okay, so you could say this is falling into the same category. It does, but in a much more sophisticated and nicer way than most of the other designer blue themed fragrances. Okay, so if you want to be blue, but you want it to be a bit more sophisticated, that's the answer. Yet at the same time, it's not as blue and not as sophisticated and not as high quality as Rochas L'Homme, which many consider to be a blue fragrance because of the appearance. It's not called blue, but it still looks blue. Okay, although to me it's not really a blue fragrance, but the other thing. But most people consider that a blue fragrance. Rochas L'Homme is 1 or 2 stars better than this one. Okay, more sophisticated, more quality in its entire being, but probably also a bit more serious. This is more playful, probably even a bit more younger. Definitely summertime, okay? I don't see this in the winter, to be honest. And age-wise, 20, 30, 40, 50, no problem. Again, you know, if you, it's probably just a nice polo shirt or a nice jacket. It's not necessarily a flip-flop, sleeveless top type of, strange scenario fragrance. Okay, it's not a mass tourism fragrance. That's what I want to get across. It gets a little bit more dressing up. It needs a little bit more dressing up, this one. Okay, so thanks very much. This was Chris with Trussardi Riflesso Blue Vibe, and everything today was about blue. Blue sunglasses, a blue shirt, blue jeans, a blue drink, a blue Pepsi from a blue cup. What else do you want? You cannot get more blue than this, baby. Blue eyes, baby's got blue eyes.